Hi, welcome back to the Chasing Tone podcast. I'm Travis.
I'm Max.
I'm Brian.
And if you listened to last week, we're going to pick up, or not last week, but last episode.
Last edition.
I'm going to pick up where we left off. Max and I found Santa Claus.
It's true. Who knew?
Who knew? He was describing to me this thing he has.
The Fitbit.
The Fitbit. It's a wrist device.
Correct.
And he was telling me.
Is that because you did something wrong and you have to stay within so many feet of the
No,
thing?
it's because I'm chubby. And, trying to lose weight.
But so I guess it's in its basic form, it's a calorie counter step thing.
It's like a pedometer, and it holds you accountable for what you eat and what you drink, and records your sleep patterns and stuff like that too.
Hold on, we'll get to that. So he was telling me all this stuff about it, about how it holds you accountable and how it counts your steps and how active you are. And then he was like, yeah, check this out on my phone. It even told me how I was restless for 14 minutes last night during sleep. I slept for 7 hours and 15 minutes. I said, wait a minute. He said, what? I said, so that thing's Santa Claus. Knows when you're sleeping, knows when you're awake, knows if you've been bad eating junk food. Right. So eat good, for goodness sake. Come on. Hashtag Fitbit. Right?
It's true.
And you had to wait. It's like special order.
Yeah.
Special
order. Forever to get it.
Let me see it.
Bam.
It's fancy. Does it have a clock?
It does have a clock. Bam.
It's got a clock.
It's got a clock. It's all fancy. It's official.
It's cool.
Even has a date.
I could probably benefit from one of those.
Good, because you're chubby.
I am chubby. It's true. But I'm probably going to lose weight now that I have another kid to chase.
Sure.
Although, really, she doesn't do anything yet. She's lazy.
Give it 6 months.
Yeah.
Not earning money or nothing.
Yeah. And that pisses me off. She's got a Social Security number.
Start contributing.
Get a job, kid.
Kids have Social Security numbers?
Yeah.
Like that young?
Yeah.
As soon as you're born.
Yeah, as soon as you're born. On the birth certificate, they give you the option. At the hospital that we were at, they give you the choice, because you got to fill out all the info for the birth certificate, right?
Back when I was a kid, we didn't do it that way. Social Security number 4.
Yeah. Yours is 4. I missed an ot.
Who says ot?
Yeah.
Old people.
Ot. 2. Damn you, Teddy Roosevelt.
Abe Lincoln, I'll get my revenge.
Oh. Anyways, you're welcome. We found Sandy. Okay. Nathaniel Bernecker. 1 hour.
Sorry, that was from the Facebook page.
Oh, okay. 1 hour.
You can.
No, I'm still going to say it. 1 hour. That's how fresh this is. The question's only an hour old.
Hot off the press.
Hot off. Right? And speaking of hot, we forgot our fan. Which do you guys think is the better way to go? AxeFx or buying all the pedals and amps individually?
Yep.
All the pedals.
You gives me all the tones. No, it all depends on, let's say you could afford the AxeFx or all the pedals. Let's start with the AxeFx. How many are you going to use out of that? If you're going to use 2 amps out of it and, 2 pedals or whatever it does,
right,
then maybe buy all the real gear.
Right.
But if you're going to use the full spectrum of the AxeFx, man, you better have a good job.
Yeah.
Because that thing can do so much.
Right. Yep.
I
know a lot of guys that use AxeFx with pedals.
Brett Kingman does.
Mm-hmm.
He did a demo of the Clarksdale through the AxeFx.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yep. No, Dweezil Zappa, I think he was doing that too.
Mm-hmm.
This podcast brought to you by McDonald's.
I wish,
and
because
Subway.
I could use the free tea. You want to know how cool?
Tell the listeners that's because we just drink it.
Do you want to know how awesome our viewers / listeners are? Somebody sent me an article about a man who, he got something wrong. He died from too much tea consumption.
I'm pretty sure that was me who sent you.
No, a guy sent it to the email. I can show you the email. Yeah.
On Facebook.
How much tea would you have to drink to do that?
He drank over a gallon a day for 25 years.
Really?
Yeah,
So
I probably drink a gallon of tea a day.
And he died?
There's
no way.
His liver. They said it was a freak accident, or a freak thing. They're like, but it was contributed to that, but it was a freak thing. But,
okay,
dude, our listeners/viewers, one of them was so concerned with my tea consumption that after seeing that, they thought of me and sent an email to podcast that. I think you forwarded me the email is what it was.
Probably.
So I don't know, man. My grandparents.
I tagged on Facebook on it, though.
My grandparents used to make tea like all the time. And so they would drink probably several gallons a day, and they lived to be like 140.
But they died, though.
They did die.
That's mean.
Mm-hmm.
Could be from
tea.
That's
terrible, Max.
It had to be a freak accident.
I do think that, and it's easy for me to say because it's your money, not mine, but I think Humpwood Pedals should probably buy an AxeFx. And I'm being serious there. You know what I mean? Because, and just keep it at your barn because you could use it for design. And plus, it's not like less and less people are going to use these things. Mm-hmm. You know, it's more and more people are probably going to use it.
Yeah, I got several pieces of software that I use to run things through. But I don't have an AxeFx yet.
Yeah, or maybe the good folks at Fractal could reach an agreement with you of some sort. You know? Yeah. You know, I mean,
I'd be willing to take one.
I'm not trying to like broker pedals for an AxeFx or anything, but it might be a possibility. I just think something like that, I feel personally, I can't speak for you or Max. Well, I can kind of speak for Max. Personally, on that level, I think Max and I are being left behind because I don't even know where we could find an AxeFx locally. I mean, I know a guy that has one, but like, you know.
A guy in Fort Wayne has one.
Who?
Matt Duncan has one.
Does he? I know he has.
So.
I know he has like the Amp 11 or
maybe that's what I'm thinking of,
or something, whatever that is. 11 rack.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's got that. Because when I was going on tour to Japan, he said you should just borrow mine. So, but I never did hook up with him. I just played the Fender Ultimate Chorus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got an orange amp that he's like a borrow to make a orange distortion pedal.
Really? Nice. Do it.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Do it. You kind of can I make give some clarification to the Crush the Button?
Sure.
Okay, so
the Crush the Button pedal, you mean?
Yeah, the Crush the Button pedal that Brian designed. This has been at least 3 years ago.
Yeah, probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Because
like 4 years ago.
I wasn't here, so I know it's been a while. But basically, it's not so much that was an orange-inspired pedal. It was for a store called Crush the Button, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, a lot of people saw Orange Crush. It was colored orange, so people think it's like your orange
Crush
amp.
No, I mean, I would say it's flavored that way.
But it's not like
I didn't start out with like a bunch of orange heads and like, I'm going to design that. Yeah.
Right. It wasn't like what you would do now if you were to sit down and go for that tone.
Yeah, it wasn't anything like that.
Yeah, but it was for a store called Crush the Button. Max thinks he's being cute over there.
I am cute.
He's hitting on
He's hitting on the camera right now. Making goo-goo eyes at the camera. Uh-huh.
Yes, sir.
So what would you do? Pedals or AxeFx?
I do pedals.
Would you?
Actually, I don't know. I've never really like sat down with an AxeFx.
See what I mean? Like,
so maybe I would like an AxeFx.
Yeah, because I'm wondering, like, be honest, I'm afraid to use one.
I dig them.
Because I'm afraid if I used one, I'd be like, oh, man, this is great.
I like them. I still think that it still misses the element.
The feel?
The
feel, yeah.
It still misses that element that I think it's just too hard to replicate. I can't say too hard to replicate. You can get pretty close.
But and that, says who, though? I mean, and I'm not trying to be a smart aleck, but seriously, like, says who? Says you.
Right.
Because you have an ear trained for this. You've done it all your life. But to the person that doesn't have the ear trained for this, it sounds and feels exactly like it.
Kind of reminds me of this. We were talking last episode, I think, about, miking up amps. I said, well, just mic up your Princeton.
Right.
He said, I'm not going to put that through a subwoofer and a tweeter or something.
Right.
And it's kind of this, I guess, kind of sort of the same deal in a way.
Right. No, I totally get it. And I agree with you. But what I'm saying is, it's like, okay, I'm fortunate. I've played vintage Plexis. I've played vintage Fender amps. So if I plugged into an AxeFx and it didn't sound exactly like that, I'd be like, it doesn't sound or feel exactly like that. But to somebody who just plays a Hot Rod Deluxe.
Right.
And not that those are bad amps. I don't mean that at all, because we do a lot of videos with it, and I love it, actually. But they've never played into an amp like that or something, and then they plug into it, and it gives them the tones that they're associated with on record. Then they may hear that and say, yeah, this is money.
Right.
So it's so hard. That's the thing with tone, and I say this is the thing I love about it so much. It's also the thing I hate about it, is it's so subjective. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Sure.
Yeah, relative?
Subjective.
It's so subjective to each person. So
I'm making that my tonal quest. I'm going to get my hands on an AxeFx.
Did you say tonal quest?
Tonal quest.
To buy? Or
no, just get my hands on one. I want to sit down.
John Suki has one.
I'll have to hit him up sometime.
Yeah, hit up John Suki.
Is he really?
I think he has one. I think so.
Surely there'll be a show somewhere.
Yeah, I want to just want to sit down with one for half an hour. Just play around with it.
I think you dig it. I mean, I don't know. It's cool, but it's not the same as having 20 amps.
Well, right.
You plug into.
Yeah, because there's no noise.
I mean, for the guy that's for the guy that's dragging stuff from one town to the next, I think it's
Or if you're and the thing is too is what if you're a guy like I know this guy named Brian England, who plays in a very, and I know this sounds funny and a lot of people will make fun of him, but he makes a good living. I mean, it's a very, very popular, very, very successful cover band. Mm-hmm. And they do a lot of corporate stuff, and he has to cover tones from the 50s to 2015.
That totally makes sense in that situation.
Exactly. So, I mean...
I guess you could still get pedals to get you somewhat of the way there, but...
Right, but you couldn't just patch it in, you know what I mean?
Not like an Axe, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, for something like that. And then I know another guy, and I think actually John. I think John now plays with a band. They don't use amps on stage.
Really?
Yeah, Matt Lay.
Yeah.
He plays in a band where they don't use amps on stage.
There's no space.
Yeah, there's no space. So, I mean, they're playing with horns and all kinds of stuff, and they just wear in-ears, I think. Yeah. But, so for that stuff, that's got to be perfect.
At what point do you not just, buy Amplitude and run it off your Mac?
Right. Or, oh, man, some guy, what was the thing I was talking about today? Positive Grid.
Positive Grid,
yeah. Positive, yeah. There's a bunch of those type of Amplitude style applications.
I mean, and that's on your phone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You can do a gig with your iPhone, because I think you actually helped answer that guy. Mm-hmm. So, because I really wonder what that would sound like with a decent cab sim.
Well, the thing is, I've actually been reading a lot about cabinet simulators, so I'm not going to give away.
Imagine that.
I'm not going to give away too awful much, but let's just say that there's definitely a few ways to get a very, very
convincing
accurate sound. Huh?
Okay, convincing or accurate. Okay.
Yeah, and it's not done analog.
Well,
which goes contrary to what some people might think. You're not going to do it in analog.
There's no way. It would have been done thousands of times already.
Right.
I mean, and not to say that no one can reinvent the wheel and anything's impossible.
Right. So let's just say we've been working on it.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
That's my best laugh.
It's a little intense getting it done.
Oh, I bet.
Little tense.
Little small tent, like
little tents, like this
elves.
big. For why it's got to be elves?
For Smurfs. Smurf tent.
Smurf. Okay, I'll give you that. Well, Never mind. I ain't touching that one. Okay, so we actually spoke more about that than I thought we would.
Yeah.
Just because I don't have any experience.
Oh, no.
Okay, so this is Ryan A. Sylvester. Hey guys, thoroughly enjoy the knowledge that I absorb listening to the podcast. I'm a big fan of the nerding out sessions. Well, this is all you, Brian.
Yeah, I'm not that
okay,
smart.
But as an aspiring pedal builder, clearly the market needs more fuzz boxes. That's awesome.
Sure.
I have a question for you. What type of product testing do you recommend before a circuit is fit for human consumption? Say all the kinks are worked out, component values nailed, sounds great. What type of real-world usage do you test before it's complete? Different brands, types of pickups, guitars, amps, different room settings, in, outside a mix, etc.
Yeah,
Thanks for the great work.
Give a bunch of people prototypes, get their
Except
thoughts. Do what?
What?
What do you say?
You said give a bunch of people prototypes. He goes, except me.
Played on stage, recorded a little bit, played on a bunch of different amps at multiple times because your ears are different and different times of the day and different days your ears are different. And without going in awful lot of detail. Yeah, that's just the... You'd want to use it in the same situation that the people buying your pedal.
That's the thing.
Would want to use it.
Yeah, my thing is
you might have to go to church.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like we are here.
Hallelujah. No.
Sure.
Why's the lightning got to come strike down? It's always got to strike down on me.
Whose fault's that?
Huh? Yeah, it is true. Whose fault's? Look at that. He's damning me.
I'm
Look
not.
at that. Huh?
I'm not the one in charge
You just
of that.
did. You just did. You tried to damn me in a church. Now whose fault's that?
It's not a church anymore.
Huh? It was a church. This is our church of tone.
It is.
Sean. Sorry. Don't sue us.
Actually,
Right?
don't sue me.
Yeah. It's twice. It's a
I
twofer.
know.
Come on. All right. Yeah, I mean, the main thing there, and obviously I can't answer that as well as you, but just give them away to people who are playing on stages. Because to me, that's the ultimate test. But to you, the ultimate test might be somebody sitting in their bedroom because those people buy pedals probably more.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but, okay.
So, I mean, and that's, I mean, you'll see a lot of knobs and switches on our stuff. And part of that's part of the reason, you know, that what may sound good in one application may not sound good in another application. So,
Yeah.
you know, you want to be able to change the EQ quite dramatically if possible.
Yeah, or, I mean, even if it's as simple as a presence switch.
Yep.
Okay. The next one is Josh Pike. Is that how you say that? Pike?
Yep.
Okay.
Sure.
P-A-I-K.
Yep.
What do you say,
Peak.
Max?
Sure.
Okay. Anyway, I recently got a Vox AC15, and I've been searching for pedals that complement the amp well. Any recommendations? Sell the amp. Okay. Now, what I would do, basically, is I would just stay away with anything with high end. I just got shocked. That's karma.
I got shocked too. But
Evidently, God likes Vox amps. No. That's lightning. Put lightning on the screen.
Nevin, did you hear that? Put lightning on the screen.
Do it now, motherfucker.
Max says put lightning on the screen. Okay?
Make
Come up
note.
with some lightning.
You're talking to our video guy.
You're talking to the video department. Who is it? That's for them, actually.
Phone call. Phone's ringing.
But
So I don't know, man.
you have two Vox amps,
You know,
and
the Vox
then you
is,
have a boutique Vox-inspired amp.
Yeah.
Vox
One
is
you
what
left the
done.
transformer on overnight, and then it blew up, and that was 3 years ago, and you still never fixed the
Now
amp.
it's
So
a
now
black
you have
Everett.
it. Did you? The black one?
Yeah.
Did you really? I was about to say now you have a speaker cabinet, but no,
Yeah.
it actually works.
Well, I got it fixed and then it happened again.
Did you leave it
technically
on
it
all
didn't
night
get fixed.
again?
No.
Oh, it just so you need a new transformer.
That's why I bought the other Vox. Because I'm like, screw this one.
I could fix this. I'd rather just buy another one.
I'll
At
put
that
this
point, I'm
over
like,
with,
you know what?
I'll put
I
this
am
with
not-
Travis's amp.
I'm actually going to have them say, if it doesn't work, whose fault's that?
Dude, you could get it fixed. Or we could fix my amp. I could probably fix my amp, don't you think? Just put it back together?
It'll take us like 20 minutes to finish.
20 minutes, let's
So-
do it. But
but I
20
mean-
minutes, that's like thousands of dollars for you.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Because
Time
we
is
make
money.
pharmaceuticals here.
Yeah, we do make fun. Do we?
We're
I'll
a
schedule you in.
multi-$100 business.
February of 2018.
So, okay, pedals on a Vox. Yeah, definitely don't use anything that's bright. I tend to like, believe it or not, I like tube screamers on them.
Mid-heavy stuff?
A little bit, yeah. But I like it just because they kind of darken things up a little bit. And it gives me sort
Whoa.
of a Brad
If a
Paisley.
tube screamer is darkening up an amp, sell the amp.
It might be a
think?
little too bright.
Dude. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Though, I don't know.
Yeah, man, I'll darken it up. You got two low-pass filters going on there.
Low pass filter.
I will say one thing. Let's segue this when you're done,
Mm-hmm.
but go ahead.
And then a slow distortion. Great
slow
distortion for that soda amp.
I could see that because it's a
'Cause
darker
it's
pedal.
Darker pedal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. See, I bet that would sound killer.
Sounds really good.
Remember you were gonna mod my slow distortion and I never saw it again?
Yeah. That's right next to your amp.
Yeah, it's probably. But you know what? I
Marshall
think I'm doing
250.
okay because you've given me some pedals and things. So I imagine I'm still coming out ahead on the slow
Lucky.
distortion deal.
I don't know.
He said lucky. But let's segue that
Sure.
into man, we're fortunate. I'm not complaining, but we have a lot of different outlets where people can ask us questions. And I saw this on one, and somebody said, "What's the deal with the Mark Sampson era Matchless versus the Matchless now?"
Not it.
Not nose goes.
Mark Sampson's a badass.
He is. He is. Well, he's basically got three companies associated with him, right? Matchless, Bad Cat, and then Star.
I think so. Sounds right.
Yeah, in that order, I believe. I'm gonna do a little bragging here.
Sure.
I've actually played one of the first 5 DC-30s that Mark Sampson ever made.
Really?
Yeah, recorded it on my second record, which is really cool. But anyway, and it used to belong to Bonnie Raitt. And I guess he gave the first 5 away and said, I kind of need those back when you're done with them. So I guess Bonnie went into Mark and basically just took $100 bills and started putting them on the table. And she said, tell me when to stop whenever I can have this amp. So, like, I think she had, like, number 4 or 5. And then the studio that I recorded at bought it off Bonnie Raitt.
So she didn't like it that much.
Well, she did, but, I mean, let's face it, she plays the Bad Cat stuff now, I think, which was Mark Sampson at the time. Right. But I don't know. I played it in such a controlled environment that, of course, it sounded great.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have played, but then again, I played a Supro Corsica on the next track right after it, and it sounded equally as great. So I do have experience with the Mark Sampson era Matchless, but not in a, I don't know, different environment. Have you ever played any?
I haven't.
Have you ever played any Matchlesses?
Oh, yeah.
Matchly?
Matchly? Match-eye? I play those. I'm a huge fan of the Bad Cat stuff. I mean,
yeah.
They make so many cool, great amps.
We stopped by the Bad Cat booth at NAMM, and I played an amp that I still kick myself for not buying. That was a Bad Cat Trim Cat 30.
Those are cool.
So we went by there, and I said, hey, man, I check your website every now and again. Check eBay, check Reverb.com, but I never can find this amp. And I said, I played it, and I loved it. He said, well, what is that? And I said, it's a Trim Cat 30. And he goes, well, whose was it? And I said, well, I don't know. It's for sale, used. And he said, well, those are only special order. He said, we may have made 50 of them. Huh. So it's like, of course, the one amp I fall in love with, there's 50 of them in existence. And I didn't buy it. And I could have bought it. I actually had the gear to move to get it at the time. But I don't know.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do? But yeah, the Bad Cat stuff's great. And the eyes light up.
Even cooler.
Even cooler. I almost I even had permission from my wife to buy that amp because the eyes lit up. And that was awesome to her. She still likes the Bad Cat amps.
Yeah.
Do you ever play? I've never seen you play a Matchless or a Bad Cat or anything.
I mean, I've played through them, but I've never owned one.
Okay.
I've many times thought I should buy one.
If you listen to the Tore Down House record by Scott Henderson,
Yep.
I dare you to listen to that record and not buy a Matchless.
Yeah.
Bet you can't do it.
Jimmy Olander played through one too in the 90s.
Dude, he's so good. You know, he's using our stuff now, right? Yeah. His guitar
Diamond
tech.
Rio for all people.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's probably what he's known most for back then.
Yeah,
now he's a big time producer, I think.
Is he really? That's awesome.
Isn't he?
All I know is that he's kind of like a Brent Mason, underground Brent Mason, because you could argue that he's just as influential to that style.
Oh, big time, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody knows him, you know, like.
He was doing dual bender stuff. You know, like G's and B's and different
B's
bends.
and G's. B's and G's bender.
And not the biscuits and gravy kind. The string bending kind.
B's and G's bender.
You bend to G, then you bend to B, and you do all kinds of cool bendy type of things.
Didn't you say one of them, like, you know, the traditional way to do it is you yank down on your guitar, or you pull your guitar down to yank on it to get it to bend and pitch, right? If you have both, do you have to, like, move it out or something?
I think one goes out and one goes down.
Jeez.
That's one way
crazy.
to do it. There's also different palm benders, too. Depends what type of bender you get.
Jeez. Well, you know, ZZ Top's guitars could spin around.
True.
And they were furry. You know, that's one thing I was thinking about the other day. And this
is guitars?
But kind of, yeah. But basically, the band ZZ Top, okay, my favorite stuff they did was before they had beards.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
definitely. Cheeks and glasses type stuff.
Yeah, well, whenever it was like, you know, like LaGrange. And
even before that, when they were moving sidewalks, they had some really cool 60s psychedelic stuff.
Really?
It was Hendrix's favorite guitar.
Well, I do know that.
At the time,
And Hendrix also loved the guitar player for Chicago at the time. But anyway, I was thinking about the MTV era when it first started and all the bands that really, really benefited from video. And ZZ Top may have been, in the very early days of MTV, they may have been the biggest band to benefit from MTV. Think about
Probably
it. Because they went from being successful to being... hell, they did Viva Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. That song was terrible. But that's the disco era, ZZ Top. Right. But seriously, they went from the cool cars to the hot girls and the furry guitars. And then next thing you know, they're multimillionaires.
Right.
You know, thank goodness they went back to the blues. Mm-hmm. Right?
I was reading a cool article on Billy Gibbons' book.
Awesome.
Rock and Roll Gearhead. He was talking about, actually, Paul Abdul.
Is that the name of the book?
It's the name of the book, Rock and Roll Gearhead. And Paul Abdul had actually been hired to do, like, their dance number, like, choreograph them
straight
dancing.
Up?
Yeah.
Tell me you get it.
I get the song. Yeah, it's a terrible song.
Come on.
Yeah, that's great.
Come on.
I was actually thinking about the time that Billy Gibbons called me.
And you didn't answer?
And I was like, don't know the number.
But to finish my story.
And then he didn't answer the phone when I called back.
And his voicemail was full. Yeah. Finish your story. Straight up.
They're so bad at dancing that they actually nailed their shoes to the stage. And like they're like, just stand still. And
ZZ Top was that bad?
Yeah, they're like, we need you to do something with your hands, right? They're like, and that's how it started because they couldn't dance. That's what the whole video. If you watch it again, they're just standing still, like come back and forth because their shoes are nailed to the set.
And if you're just listening, Max did the famous, circle move, and then the thing they do with their fingers. If you saw it, you'd know.
My wannabe beard.
He used to use a faux tape. Billy he was using a faux tape echo at the board.
Yeah, in front of house.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Craziness.
So did you ever get a hold of him?
Nope.
I know somebody that knows his phone number. Come on.
Well, I got his phone number.
Well, that can get a hold of him.
Have you seen him text, hey, Mr. Gibbons, remember that time here?
He does text, by the way.
Does he?
He does text. I can't give out too much information, but he does text.
Maybe ZZ Top. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be like, hello, ZZ Top.
Mr. Top.
Mr. Top.
I am your
biggest... Are you Z or are you Z?
Yeah.
You are my biggest fan.
You said, are you Z or are you Z? When we did the rig rundowns with Florida Georgia Line, there's another guy that worked for Brian at the time. His name was Logan, and he was the video guy. And he knows nothing about Florida Georgia Line or most country music.
He's not just into that at all.
I mean, he's a huge music fan, but like he's just not into that.
Into pop country at all.
So whenever we were backstage, we did the rig rundowns with the guitarist, and I saw one of the singers. Like, there's two lead singers in this band, and I was like, and I made the joke to you. I said, Brian, is that Florida or is that Georgia? And you just kind of laughed it off like, that's stupid, whatever. And then Logan goes, which one is that? I was like, dude, that's Florida. And he was like, really? Should we go like try to talk to him? I was like, yeah, just go up to him and be like, hey, Florida. And then he like started to walk that way, and I had to like grab him on the shirt. I was like, his name's not really Florida. He was going to go up to him like, Florida. Poor Logan. I should have let him do it. Okay, we're not on page 2 yet, are we?
Nope.
Okay.
I feel like changing it.
Okay, I have a question for Brian. Of course you do.
Where you at?
Right here.
Page 1, dude.
That's what I said, page 1.
Yeah, that's why I skipped over that.
Why?
You don't want talking.
Oh, you don't want that one?
No, I don't care. We can. Okay.
Let the pedals genius talk, monkey.
Okay.
Do you want this?
I can dumb this down real quick.
Okay. Well, he says, I was going through my pedal collection the other day and rediscovered my Johnny Hiland Bad Dog Overdrive. I got a real quick story.
Okay.
So I went I know, right? I went into Guitar Center in Greenwood, and I saw one in the used case.
Yep.
So I took a picture of it and I sent it to Brian, and he was like, "Dude, buy it." And I was like, "Well, I don't have the money right now." Or, well, you thought I had one of your credit cards or something, and I said, "No, I can't." And he said, "Well, can you tell him to hold it?" And I said, "Yeah, will you be coming back in?" He said, "Yeah, just tell him it's for me." So I called because I'd already left, and I said, "Yeah, I was just in there. Is there any way you can hold that pedal?" And they were like, "We're not really supposed to do that, da-da-da-da-da." I was like, for like 2 hours. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, "Yeah, what's the name?" I said, "Brian Wampler." And they started laughing. They didn't believe me. I was like, "Dude, seriously." So then they thought I was Brian Wampler. So then I just kept telling them about how big my muscles were, how many push-ups I can do.
Yeah, that's exactly what you did.
But then you never went and got it.
Then they're like, "Well, I know because that's another different story." But
oh, really? There's a story. Oh, well, I want to know that off camera. I didn't know there was more to that.
Yeah.
Transformers.
Yeah, I'll kind of
PCI.
explain why right now.
Okay, do it.
Okay. So wondering if you would do anything radically different with this pedal design. Know what you would know now, or if you're reminded of something great you did with the design of it that you would incorporate into future designs. Well, the thing is that Johnny at that time was playing through two PV. What's the ones that I hated?
Was it Windsor or something like that?
No, it was. I hated these ones with a passion. These ones.
I remember
them ones. And
it was around the same time frame as your first name.
Yeah, I was near there. I forget. But anyways, it was the big 412 huge.
I know. Are you
stack.
sure it's not the PV Windsor?
It wasn't the Windsor because it was
okay.
Black. I cannot remember the name of it. But anyways,
look it up. Monkey.
I did not like the sound of them at all.
Gotcha.
And so to make a pedal sound good
with
to my ears, what I thought sounded good, made me voice the pedal awkwardly.
That makes total sense.
So in other words, you took that pedal and put it in through like an
amp that sounds great or had the frequency in which you felt the other one lacked.
Yeah, you're like, that's got a kind of a weird tonality to it.
So the reason you wanted to buy it was to get it off the market.
Pretty much, yeah.
Not because it was nostalgic and wanted it. You wanted it off the market.
I was just like, I don't want my name. That pedal was designed for Johnny. I was a huge fan of Johnny. And
right,
I'm like, dude,
still are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because he was telling me the problems he was having with the amp. It's like, I can fix that.
Right,
so
but you should have just fixed the amp and then never told anybody.
I should have just made him some pedals instead of release it. So
or just mod his amp.
Could have been.
Yeah,
but then it'd been stuck in my room.
Yeah, they just said the same.
Been stuck in my room for 2.5 years.
No, not for Johnny Hiland. So what you're saying is I'm no Johnny Hiland? Of course I'm not.
You ain't no Johnny Hiland.
You ain't no Johnny Hiland. He's like the nicest dude in the world.
He is, man.
And that dude loves his wife, man. That is one of the cool. That's the thing I love about the dude the most is that guy. I've never seen him go anywhere without his wife.
Yep.
Everywhere he goes, his wife's right there. It's awesome. Mm-hmm. But
and she's super nice too.
Is she? I've never spoken to her. She seems real sweet.
Sweetest person you ever meet.
Even like on his gigs, he'll even give her shout outs from the stage and stuff. It's too cool, man.
Yeah, he is one of the most coolest down to earth guys I know.
Yeah, loves gear.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No way. Is it? We've been going this long on this expedition?
I don't know what time we at there.
Some like 30 minutes.
Okay. Until next week.
Let's see. P.S. I recently added the Clarksdale to my board and absolutely love it. I was on the fence regarding purchasing Clarksdale as I own a number of TS voiced overdrives. Suffice to say, I'm beyond thrilled with the Clarksdale. It's truly great. Last word. Okay, well, cool. That's not a question.
That's just a, hey, I love the Clarksdale.
Yeah.
Thanks, dude.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, right? I wish I could say thanks, but that's this dude.
No.
I just said, hey, borrow this, and he did it. Come on. But so if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to email Max at wamplerpedals.com.
They're going to wind up there anyways.
No, joking. Don't do it. Podcast at wamplerpedals.com. Chasing Tone Podcast on Facebook.
Yep.
Leave comments on YouTube. Check us out on Instagram. Share some stuff. Come on.
Yeah, and our new pedal group, Wamper Pedals Tone Group on Facebook,
which is cool, man.
Yeah, that's
where taken off.
That's where like we actually get in and just have conversations.
Right.
It's a lot easier than posting on the page because sometimes we
things get mixed up and lost.
Well, I mean, if you post something on there, we don't always see the message that comes in.
Right.
If you post to my regular Facebook, you got a 50-50 chance I'm going to see it over the next week.
Right.
So,
right. So, and the thing is, too, it doesn't have to be strictly Wampler, Really.
No, it's not like a
the only
Wampler
thing we
Pedals
ask is if
group.
you're going to try to sell your stuff, or something.
Yeah, there's like a specific area you can sell on there.
Yeah. And we prefer that to be kind of Wampler related, like Dr. Z or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, don't sell like your Joyo or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, I got this Joyo hot plexi. Anybody want it? Who wants it? Who wants it? Nothing.
Come on.
No, that's with the E in it. See? But anyway, for Max and Brian, I'm Travis.
See you next week, Tone Chasers.
Stay classy.
Stay classy, Tone Chasers.